Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to assemble the carburetors back together. It's not a fully disassembled carb, it's just a split, and I explain what was the problem with the carburetor, why I had to take it apart. Let's put those carburetors back on the bike. Now we're gonna put it together. I fixed the problem with the float. The problem was that the float went too far down for whatever reason. I don't really understand why it happened, but it was about 4 mil deeper. This float went further down than the other carburetor, and that caused it to jam to the housing. And the way I solved it, I'm gonna put up some pictures now. I made some macro pictures of the solution. Now when I turn this up and down, I'm gonna do it to the microphone right there. When I turn this upside down, there is no bang like it before. Nice springing back, just like the other one. Okay, I hope you can hear it. I will try to amplify it if I can. And I didn't need new floats. The floats were fine. Just needed that little blob, little solder blob on the needle valve housing, so it stops the float going too far down. It stops it about here instead of additional 4 mil. I held both carburetors up like that. And I could see this one was way higher, a lot higher. I'm not sure if it's the body design. I didn't see any knock, any bend, anything. I can't really explain why. It must have been like this from the beginning. So anyway, it's time to put it together. The first thing you need to do is put together the choke, because otherwise you can't access it, and that's how you get to it. It's just gonna be over here, just right there. You put it in, and then you click it in. That's it, with your finger. Put it in, and then you can line up these two notches right there, over there. Line it up. That's your one way of telling you're doing it right. And now you're gonna put this bracket back in here and start putting some screws in. You need about four or five pair of hands, so be prepared for that. That's not final yet. I have another little bracket which includes this pipe work going right here. This is the overflow. If your float height is not right, if the carburetor is overflowing because too much petrol height, it's gonna come up all the way here, all the way down, and it's gonna come out here. Okay, and this is just a vent basically. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check it from the bottom. You're not gonna see it on the camera, but I'm checking that meeting point where that two little notch meets, and I'm pushing it together as best as I could, just like that with my big tummy, and then screw these 4 screws in. Make sure you align this that way. That's the main petrol line. The main petrol line going here, 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 and then clicks into that one. Clearly, if you split the carbs, you will have to sync them up again. But that's not a big deal, not a big job. Now previously I greased all this up, all these little bushings, so I'm not gonna do that again. I was trying to put it the wrong way around. This needs to go this way. Stupid. Sorry, my bad. Just looking at it, why the hell it's not lining up? And now I know. Okay, now we're gonna put back the E-clips. Use a screwdriver, magnetize it, and put it on, so I can slide it into the little groove, and then take the screwdriver out. I'm pushing it down with my finger. I can't show you guys. Now it's sitting in a groove, and then I just push it down. There you go. Worked first time. And then just spin it round by pushing the E-clip. Spin around the E-clip like that to make sure it doesn't want to come off. That means it's sitting in the right place, okay? Now let's do the other one. Luckily you can put your finger in there and helping it hold it down in place. And then in the middle of it, on the back side of the E, just give it a firm push. That's it. Right, so this is what I was doing here. Them little E-clips. Just pushing one edge of it. Yeah. The screws got a little bit tight when I took it apart, so I'm gonna put some anti-seize grease on it to avoid this problem again. Just like that. I'm gonna loose up this a little bit to give me a bit of a movement. Okay, that's better. I can move this a little bit better. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna double check that top meeting holes, the bottoms, and I just like to squeeze it together a little bit. That's it. Tight it up a little bit. Not fully tight yet. And then squeeze the top together. Okay, make sure that's that way. Alright. Double check your choke. Make sure you did a good job with it. That's working. Other one. Lovely. It is completely seized in. I'm gonna put up some picture about it. How did it look like? And that was a cleaned carburetor by a shop. Okay, I think we are done. It's ready to go back on the bike. Perfect. Make sure you got both O-ring in there in this manifold, and clearly O-ring in the other one. Make sure that's still there. Fairly simple. Just keep pushing it in. And now I'm gonna put in the other manifold from the other side. Right there. Make sure the O-ring is in there. Just slide it up. You might saying, oh yeah, I wish that would be that easy. It's not that hard, to be honest. Just make sure you don't kill the O-ring. I have to wiggle it a little bit to get it where it's supposed to be. Plus adjusting that little bracket thingy. That's it. Now where it's supposed to be. Now we're gonna put the bolt in here to the bottom. There we go. So what we're gonna do next, we are going to push in this carburetor into this, push it back in, and that will align up the other one where it needs to be. I've put some silicone spray on it to help it sliding in. Silicone spray is awesome. Now we're gonna have to put in the screw into the other one, tight everything up, put the fuel on, throttle, and then we can try it. Now put the screws back in the other one, tighten it all up except the clamps. The clamps are loose on both, so I can make sure make sure I can wiggle it in the right position. Don't need to be too tight like old-fashioned style, because there's no way you put a torque wrench on that one. Okay, now again the Allen key goes through the two carburetors if you change them to Allen bolts. So I'm doing that bolt now over there. I hope you can see it. That's my Allen key there. Right there. And I'm tightening that up. It just goes through between the two carburetors perfectly actually. And we're gonna tighten it up. Again, not too crazy, but not loose either. Both carburetor manifold is bolted back on the bike. Right, we're gonna take this bolt out from... Oh, box! I wasn't expecting that pressure. Oh, I'm gonna smell now. The fuel clip back on. You can always check so you know which one is which. So that's all the way back now. That's pulling. So that's going to be this one. Okay, let's put this back in here. Pull it up, put that back there. And that goes back in there. To give us a bit more. Clamps. Oh, I really should get another one of these. Horrible. I found one. There you go. You got a new screw in there. It's solid, it's not moving. Carb, quite firm, firmly sitting. We're gonna have to put that pain in the arse back. Oh my god, this one. When I try to put this in, this bloody ring pops off and bends. So what I will try to do is put the top end up first. Make sure you align your screws first so you can get to them, right? That's another thing. Right, so I'm going to push it all up all the way I can, all the way as much as I can, and then pull it back slightly and try to push this right in over the carburetor. So let's see how is that going to work out. So we're going in there. Okay. Just turn it slightly. And now going up, back, and I've got to turn this. Let's give it a little help through the carb, pushing the other end out. And it should pop in now. Ah, that's it. Oh, such a pain in the arse. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't like this part. The other one is that easy because you can squash it, put it on. Right, what I tend to do is look from the other side all the way around to make sure this sits nicely on the carb, because clearly you don't want any leaks. So just shine my light down there. Yeah, popped over nicely. Let's tighten this up. Oh, somebody put a nut there. Seems like the original welded nut came off. Alright, just pull it back on the rubber. If it's not moving, it's good enough. Tighten up the other one. Once you think it's tight enough, just pull it down. And if it's not moving on the frame, that's it, you're good to go. So this side is done. Alright, we're gonna have to put these back. And we're gonna call the silicone spray for help. So I'm gonna align this away from everything, so it's gonna be on the bottom, and I'm just gonna try to slide it on. It's just a vent anyway. That's it. Perfect, gone on. Yes! This one is easier, I reckon. Yes. I don't have to take it apart again. Lovely. Like I said, this one hell of a lot easier. Okay, I think we are good to go. Okay, that's on. I'm gonna go on the other side, double check to make sure it's sitting right. Tight this up. No need super tight. If you can't pull it back on the carb, that's fine. That's it, don't move anymore. And the last thing we need to do is tighten up this one. I'll have to take this off to get better access. And just gonna tighten it up. I'm not sure if I recorded it or not, but I tightened these up previously. So, sorry guys. And now can this go back. These are just vents for the membrane, for the carburetor membrane. When it goes up and down, these are just vents through there. Make sure you put the throttle position sensor back if you have one. If you don't, clearly not. And the last bit is the choke cable. I'm gonna hook it back up there. And then I'll hook it under there. And I'm gonna need a 4mm Allen key. Yours might be different. And check to make sure you got slack, so you don't pull it on accidentally when you turn the wheel, when you turn the steering wheel. So give it a good, I've got about a good 8mm up there before it does anything. Tight, done. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching the carburetor fitting video. I know it was super duper long, but I thought I'm not gonna split just the assembly and then a separate video for the installation. I really appreciate your time here on my channel. Please consider subscribing and help me grow so I can bring you more content, and I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.